need. First, you're going to want your instructions for your standard size Altoids tin and the accompanying templates page that goes with it. You'll need a 4x5 piece of cotton fabric. You'll also be needing a 3x4 inch piece of mat board and a 3x4 inch piece of lightweight batting. Regular cotton sewing thread and some tacky glue. Alright, next, step 2, we are going to be lining the bottom of the Altoid tin. First thing you want to do is get your template page, and you're going to cut out the standard Altoid size bottom. Cut to the inside of that black line. So this way we know that it's fitting inside of our tin. Okay, once you have that cut out, take your template, take your 3x4 piece of mat board, and you're going to trace that onto the template onto the mat board. So we go ahead and do that real quick. There we go. Take your paper cutting scissors, not your good sewing scissors, and you're going to cut through this mat board. Again, please cut to the inside of the pencil line so we know it's fitting, the size is correct. Take your time cutting this out. I know it's thick and can be difficult, pretty stiff. It helps sometimes just cut those straight edges, and then you can curve up the corners a little bit at a time. Makes it a little easier. Is that out of our way? All right, we want to make sure that this fit. I did the checking on the pattern, but let's just make sure everything is good to go. Take your tin, put your mat board piece in there, and as you can see, if you look close, there are some little bitty gaps, which is great. That's what we want, so that when we cover it with the fabric, it'll take up that gap. It has room for it, makes it easier to put it back in there. And if there's any gap showing later on, we're going to take care of that with the side piece. All right, so that fit really nicely. If yours doesn't, get your scissors, trim it up just a little bit more if you want. All right, once you've checked for that, everything's good, take your 3x4 inch piece of batting, and you are going to take your mat board, take your tacky glue, and you are going to glue all the way on your mat board. Once you get a sufficient amount of glue in there, take some of the scraps from the fabric, the mat board we just cut, and oops, get a little bit more. Oh man, this might not work. And we don't want those bumpies. We want this smoothed out. So use that mat board piece to kind of smooth it from edge to edge, so you get really good coverage, and it takes away the bumps. Once you have that smoothed out, take your mat board and glue it down on top of the batting. Okay. All right. So then we're going to take that and wait for it to dry. All right, so our glue is now dried, so we can take our fabric cutting scissors, and we're on step 6, or well, number 6 of step 2 for the lining. We're just going to trim that batting to the shape of the mat board. So follow that along and trim that right up. There we go. Nice and easy. And so now we have our batting covered mat board, and it's all trimmed to shape. Okay. All right, we're on number 7. We're going to then take this batting covered mat board, and we are going to place it in the center of our 4 by 5 inch piece of cotton fabric. So you just lay that down, take your mat board, you want the batting side to the wrong side of the fabric, and just center that, okay? Then, again, taking your fabric cutting scissors, we are going to round the corners. We just need to round. The edges are the same, fine, the margins are perfect. We just need to round those corners, so it makes it easier when we do the gathering. So just round those up. There we go. So that it looks like that. Then number 9, you're going to take your needle and thread, and this is just the regular sewing cotton thread, no problem. Put a knot at the end of that, and anywhere you want, I want you to run sew a running stitch along the edge, right in your margin there. It could be anywhere from, you know, a 1/4 of an inch in or so, like that. Just do a running stitch along through there. So go ahead and put that in. Okay, as we're coming to the edge, the beginning here, or the end. All right, so you should have a nice running stitch. Actually, it's easier to see on this side. Your running stitch going along the edges. Now, what I want you to do now is we are ready for step 10. And you just pull that, and it gathers it right up, and we have our shape. Nice and easy. Love that. Now, you'll see though, we have a little bit of puckering going on here and there. So what we're going to do to help eliminate that is a little bit of lacing, okay? Don't be afraid, it's not that hard. If you've never done it, and using the thread you've already got, you're just going to go to the opposite side and pull that up, okay? And you'll just keep going in the direction that you're at, back and forth, just kind of like you were lacing up a pair of shoes, hence the word lacing. There we go. And there you are. You have a finished bottom for your Altoids 10. You can check the fit if you would like, or you can just wait until we do the lining piece before you put it in. Okay. I went ahead and checked it, and it's looking really good. Okay, you can hardly tell there's any gaps in there.